and welcome to Central Portugal. My name is Helen, this is Snoop, and this is Star. My partner and I run a small tour company called Espinhal de Liberdade, or The Spirit of Freedom, based here in gorgeous Central Portugal. Although you can probably tell from my accent that I'm not actually a native of this beautiful country. Isn't that right, Snoop? Unfortunately, the last couple of years have been really challenging for any new startup business, but especially difficult if you intend to start trading in an entirely new country. However, I thought I would take you on a tour of some of the new enterprises in Portugal who have done just that. So why don't you join me and the girls on our journey as we introduce you to some of the small businesses who have chosen to make Central Portugal their home. Today we have travelled to the village of Espinhal, near to the town of Penella. We're here at Aromáticas to meet Awen and Dave, who've come here from the UK to Portugal to realise their dreams. Let's find out their story. Hi guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. Do you want to start maybe about telling us a little bit about yourselves and about your business?
So I'm Awen and this is my husband Dave, and this is our business, which is a little cafe called Aromáticas. It's a British cafe in Espinhal.
Which is a small farming village near Penella in the district of Coimbra.
Excellent. When did you come to Portugal?
September 2019.
Very specific. Why did you pick Portugal?
We like Portuguese people, so
Yeah.
we've had a really warm welcome from Portuguese people.
Well, we looked at some other countries. We always thought about moving.
We wanted to move to Europe at some point.
Beat Brexit.
And so we wanted to move before it became difficult to move to Europe. So we tried to beat the Brexit deadline.
Yeah, which we just about beat, and then
it moved.
The deadline changed literally the day after we got here.
And then
Several times.
we looked at house prices in like France and Italy.
Yeah.
And then we looked at Portugal, and then we specifically looked at central Portugal, which was significantly cheaper than everywhere else we'd looked.
Yeah.
Which would mean that we could buy a house outright as opposed to having to pay a mortgage.
Difference, of paying the mortgage off, selling the house, paying the mortgage off, would leave enough to buy a house outright.
And you wouldn't have to pay for a mortgage for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
So
which is a big weight lifted, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice thing to not have to worry about paying for your house, that the house is paid for. Yeah, so people, beautiful countryside.
It is beautiful as well.
It's stunning here.
Friendly people.
Yeah.
And they're very welcoming to immigrants in Portugal.
Yeah.
Very important.
It is important, yeah.
Did you want to open a cafe particularly, or what was your idea?
No, so I'm a teacher and
I'm a builder.
Dave's a builder. And then I did my TEFL when I first moved here and started teaching online. But it wasn't enough money, and it wasn't.
Also, it's the start of the pandemic, and everyone jumped on board teaching online.
Everyone was online teaching, and it wasn't very rewarding. So this opportunity came up, and we had to do like a bid for it, didn't we?
It was a tender. You had to put a tender in.
I had to put a tender in for the cafe, and it was all Portuguese people and me.
The cafe belongs to the
Freguesia.
They've been very helpful.
They've been brilliant.
Very supportive.
And a part of my tender was that I wanted to integrate the British community or the expat community and the Portuguese community, and that's something we've done successfully.
Very successfully, yeah.
So yeah, it's worked out really nicely for us and for
we have a good mix of Portuguese people and immigrants.
Yeah, so it's worked out well for everybody, and we have an income, which
is just about pay the bills.
which is nice, because I think it is difficult to earn money here.
So you would say your business has been well received by the local community then?
Very, very well received. Yeah, they love it.
Yeah. Portuguese people really like us. They like the cafe.
They just had the Prosecco in the same building, and when the people that were running the Prosecco and had market stalls, when they were packing up and leaving, they were telling us how much they valued the cafe and they liked what we were doing, and it was really nice.
It is. It's really
warming.
It's nice, and you get to know everybody, so we know everybody.
Everything that's going on.
Everything that's
all the
going
gossip.
on. But also like the immigrant population. It's not just British. It's people from all over Europe.
We get to help a lot of new people that come here, and they've got lots of questions, and we can put people in touch with the right people, give them advice, which is nice to do.
Because sometimes people get sort of taken advantage of if they don't know, about renting, or they don't know how to do the paperwork, or they're a bit scared of things like, changing your driving license and all this sort of stuff. So we tend to help.
We give a lot of advice, don't we?
We do give a lot of advice. Hopefully it's the right advice. Yeah. It's a bit like a community cafe, isn't it?
Yeah, they all come in, they go, what's this mean then? What's this?
Yeah. But also we've done nice things, like we've set up an art gallery in this little bit here. So we're like promoting music, art.
Yeah. We've had to do a few events as well.
We've done some events, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a nice space for other people to enjoy, not just for us to.
It's not just about making a living, and I think that was important to the Freguesia when they gave us
the building.
When they let us do the cafe here.
Yeah.
They wanted a bit more than just a cafe, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which I think we've succeeded, haven't we?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Excellent. So obviously the last couple of years have been really challenging, particularly for those of you in the hospitality sector. How have you guys coped and adapted to the circumstances?
Well, that's the main thing, is that we have adapted. So we found that people that haven't adapted have struggled, because we're so involved.
We were in the middle of a pandemic when we started, so we've.
Well, we're very much involved in every aspect of the business. So I think other people employ people, which we do as well, but we're here all the time. So we know exactly what's going on in the cafe all the time. We know every aspect of the business. So in which case, if we need to change anything, which we have to at quite short notice, we can do it. So that's everything down to what we're offering the customers in terms of food, but even like events, and just really being able to change things last minute, we've been able to do. But 6 weeks after opening, we shut. And because we'd already had one lockdown, I'd already said, if we lock down again, we'll do takeaways.
Which that was the thing that they said, you're allowed to do takeaways.
So it was brilliant, because we don't have to pay any rent if we're in the middle of a lockdown, but we were able to earn an income from takeaways.
It was very successful as well.
And it was really, and considering we're a new business, it really shoot off, didn't it? It shot off. Is that the right word?
Took off.
It took off, because people were really into it. We did Indian takeaway, we did Chinese takeaway.
And then you did.
And then I did like pizzas and wraps.
And pizzas and things like that, yeah.
So it was really, really busy. And it was good because the word got around. And people weren't really doing anything because they had to stay at home. They were just on Facebook. So we really pushed the business on social media, and word got around about us and the food really quickly.
Yeah.
So when we reopened in May,
I think it was May, I can't remember.
We were already on like a good footing.
We had lots of customers, ready to come in.
We were quite well known, even though we'd only been open like a really short amount of time. In terms of like restrictions, we've come out of it quite well at the moment. But I don't think our customers know what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. So it's January, It's quite quiet, but we're surviving. So hopefully it'll pick up.
Yeah, I think it will do.
Yeah.
Excellent. So do you have any future plans for the business then?
Survival.
Survival.
We plan to survive.
If we can keep earning enough money to live on, I like this idea of working with artists and musicians. I definitely like to have like open mic nights.
We will be having some music nights.
Music nights. Definitely in the summer, trying to use the outside space a bit more. Even if we had like a concert outside, that would be brilliant. But always expanding the food. We've been really, because I do all the food. It's quite malleable what we can do in terms of what food we offer people. So we're well known for our breakfasts, but we're also getting quite well known for our pizzas.
Yeah.
And then we've just started doing Sunday roasts, which are also really popular. But all that could change, couldn't it, depending on what the customers want. And I quite like the idea of doing picnics and takeaway boxes because we're so close to the Pedra da Ferreira walk. But yeah, we could try lots of different things, couldn't we? We want to start selling ice creams.
Yeah, we definitely need to sell ice creams.
In the
because
summer.
People ask them. We need a new freezer for that. No, it's worked out all right, I think.
Yeah.
So that kind of brings me on to the last question. Do you have any advice for anybody thinking of moving to Portugal, starting a new business?
Research. Dave,
lots of research.
Dave's been really good at researching. But to be honest, if you knew what we know now, we wouldn't have done it. Not in terms of moving to Portugal, in terms of opening a cafe. If I'd have known how difficult it was going to be and how expensive it was going to be, I don't know if I'd have done it. Yeah. But it's worked out okay.
It's worked out okay. It could have gone badly wrong, but I think it's...
We've been really lucky.
Yeah.
In lots of respects.
If you're moving to Portugal, embrace the Portuguese ways. Don't try and keep the UK mentality because you'll have a bad time.
You need to be malleable.
A bit more money than you think. Your money's going to run out.
Yeah.
Be aware of this.
Because you think it's really cheap here, which it is, but certain things are just as expensive, like electricity. The winters are cold. This was a surprise it's not as cold as the UK, but you do need to pay for heating.
Mostly old-fashioned houses.
Yeah, but you need to pay for heating. There are expenses that you don't think of.
Yeah.
And you can't get stuff on credit.
When people move here, they all go, they act like they're on holiday and spend a lot of money, which we were very guilty of.
At the beginning,
don't do that.
Don't spend your money.
You're not on holiday, don't spend all your money.
Yeah. But also, like in the UK, you get stuff on credit, don't you? Like you get a credit card, and I've got a credit card now because I qualify for one. But initially, you don't qualify for credit, so you need to have money to buy a car. You can't pay for a car monthly. You have to. So we've got two cars,
it takes a while to
and
be
you've
able
got
to
to
get
pay
credit
for
here,
them. And then, it's the same. So at least you've paid for your house, but there are other things that you've got to pay for.
Yeah. I don't know, it's not that bad.
No, it's all relative, isn't it? Yeah. It's relatively speaking.
Just remember it's a different culture.
Be respectful.
Things are done very differently.
Yeah.
It's not that it's done wrong, it's done in a different way.
Yeah. Learn Portuguese.
Yeah, it's never too early to start learning Portuguese.
Portuguese, definitely. It's
best to start well before you come here.
It's really important to understand what people are saying.
Well, you'll get along a lot further and a lot faster if you can speak some Portuguese.
If you make the effort.
Yeah. You don't have to be fluent, just, as long as it's apparent that you've made the effort, people will be a lot more receptive to you and a lot more helpful.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Do you want to do a last plug for your business? If you've got any...
I think we've said quite a few things, haven't we? I don't know what else to say.
If you want to visit the cafe, you can find us on Google Maps, on Facebook, on Instagram, under Aromáticas Espinhal. There's so much to do around here. It's a good place to visit.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us and inspiring anyone out there to follow their own dream. thank you to Awen and Dave from Aromáticas for sharing their inspirational story with us. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. So that's the girls loaded now, and we're off on another adventure. So thank you for joining us. Please join us next time as we'll be exploring some new frontiers.